Hello, YouTubers. This is Tammy with ElevatedLivingToday.com, and I am back with yet another video. So I want to say welcome back to my regular viewers and welcome to Elevated Living Today YouTube channel for my new viewers. And I want to give you guys an update on my arm. My arm is still broken, but I can't stretch it out all the way. I don't know if you can see the difference, but it's getting better. I can reach here, and you know, I couldn't feed myself, and I'm getting up here a little. I'm getting more flexibility. But anyways, my orthopedic says that he doesn't see why I can extend my arm all the way because the broken bone is not restricting my range of motion. So I am going to a trauma specialist on Tuesday morning, and this is Sunday night, so I have 2 more days before I go and see the trauma specialist just for a second opinion. So I am leaning towards the way of no surgery. My doctor really doesn't want to have surgery, and neither do I. So that's the way I'm leaning. But anyways, this video is to talk about taking your power back. And for me, this is a very meaningful, a very powerful subject that I am going to talk about. And this is because a lot of my childhood years and quite a few of my adult years, I felt disempowered, which put me in a state of a victim mode because of the environment that I grew up in. I'm not going to go into much detail, but I use those details for my consultations that I have. However, I'm not going to go into much details. If you want to hear my story, it is in the archives on these videos. I think the title is from Growing to Loving Myself, something of that nature. Is a long title, and there are 4 parts. So knock yourself out and listen to them because there's some valuable information in there. I know it's pretty lengthy, but if you're one of those ones that are looking for some type of help emotionally, psychologically, spiritually, you have tuned into the right channel, because I am an intuitive spiritual advisor, spiritual healing advisor, a teacher, a speaker, and a life coach. And my coaching is from a spiritual perspective. And the reason being is that my main objective, or the main objective for this channel, is not to only help you get more stuff, more money, more things, but it's to help you expand in your consciousness and your spirituality, which in turn will yield those things for you automatically. You're going to live a life of abundance. It just comes, you're going to have an overflow of everything that you need. Once you do your inner work, it spills over into every area of your life. And I am a living witness. So anyways, not to prolong this video, but anyways, I got my daughter's progress report, and on her progress report, she had an A, a B, a C, a D, and an F. I don't remember all of the maybe 2 of the subjects specifically, but she's in the 3rd grade, and I sent the teacher, they have like this little app now that you can use called, I think it's Blooms. I think it's called Blooms. uh, Blobs, Blobs, something like that. But anyways, you can have instant access almost to the teachers. So I text the teacher wanting to know, because my daughter, I went over some of her homework that she had for math and she didn't understand it. So when I got the progress report and I saw the F, I'm like, whoa, that is the highest of the highest of the highest. And I'm not going to say it's all the teacher's fault or my daughter's fault, or because somewhat I played in that, because I should have been aware of the F before the progress report. So once I saw this, I wanted to, um, there is like this website that they can go on to, a math website that they can go on to and get and do more work relating to the work that they're doing in school. So my daughter's laptop, it wasn't working for some reason. So I don't allow her on my laptop because I don't want it damaged. So therefore I said, okay, I am going to log her into her tablet. She can use the tablet. So I got her all logged and set up in the tablet. However, there was some type of misunderstanding on my part as to, or confusion as to where to start, even though I had the paperwork. So I text the teacher as to, we're just getting started and I want to get started here. Where should we start? You know, she was like, oh, Victory should have bought the paper home, at the beginning of the school year. I'm glad you're working together. I'll send another one home tomorrow. So I text her back. I'm like, we already have the paperwork. I'm just wondering which sections should we start on that will line up with what concepts or what strategies you're teaching in class at the moment, so that she'll be prepared for testing. So anyways, her response was kind of short. She really wasn't direct in answering my question. So now I'm thinking, because I'm going to go back. Sorry about this, guys, but I'm going to go back. I always go back. But anyways, I thought about at open house when I met this teacher. She has two teachers, mind you. She has a teacher for language arts and social studies, and then she has another teacher for math and science. So I know at open house, something about her energy, you guys, that's one of the things about being intuitive, and we all have it. It's just some of us are not in tune as much as others, or aware of their intuitive nature as much as others. But because I spend so much time in solitude and in nature, I say solitude. I think solitude equals solitude. But I spend so much time in nature, and so much time in meditation, that my intuitive intuition is really at a high peak per se. So there was something, anyways, that I picked up on at open house with this particular teacher, not with the other teacher. And at that time, something spoke to me and said to move my daughter out of her class. And I'm like, I trust myself, but I'm like, I'm going to give her benefit of the doubt. But anyway, so going forward, like a week or two later, after getting the progress reports, and the way she responded with the text that I sent her, as to getting my daughter started on this math website and doing the work that will help her and keep her on course for what they're doing in class, and to help her understanding. So the way she responded was kind of she was kind of short with me. She really wasn't direct. She didn't answer my question, kind of like a sort of kind of avoidance. And after that, I said, okay. After the text, I'm like, Spirit said, if she's that way with you, how do you think she is with your daughter? So about 2 days later, I text, and I wanted to set up a conference. And even in that, it was just a little iffiness in scheduling the conference. So because I've had dealt with some issues, I have 4 children, right? 2 older ones and my 2 younger ones, 2 minor. So because I've dealt with issues in the past, I'm like, I want the assistant principal present, because if this doesn't go well, I don't want to have to repeat myself as to whatever conclusion I come up with as a result of the conference. So the conference ended up being the 2 teachers, the assistant principal, and myself. So we get in the this is the weirdest thing too. When I requested the conference, the teacher asked me what did I want to have the conference for, because she wanted to make the assistant principal aware as to what the conference is for. So my thing is, I'm gonna try to keep being nice. It's really not to talk about. Um, anyways, it's like, really, you can put 2 and 2 together that of course I'm coming in because my daughter has an F in your math class. But I just text back and I said, regarding her grades. So we met. The conference was scheduled and we met. All of us, we met. And during the conference, I am asking her questions. She's like, she started out the conference with, I know it's regarding the F that she has in my class is the reason why you scheduled this conference. And I say yes. So I wanted from there to go ahead and initiate my concerns. I say, okay, I know that she has an F. This is my thing. I want to know, what solution can we all come up with where as to what is going to help her bring this grade up, that we can all work together, is myself at home and you all here at school, what is going to be done. So she bought out some papers showing me a math worksheet that my daughter and I did the night before, and then an assessment that she had recently tested on like 2 days prior, I'm thinking. And I'm like, do you have any more work to show me as to what she has done, where you have been working with her, as to explaining the concepts, and just show me more of her work, because I have 4 children. I've attended conferences, and usually a teacher has like this whole buffet laid out as to the child's work, their progress, or they're not, or they're not making progress or whatever. But I said, okay. And the assessment, oh, okay, I know this is a testing. This showed the testing on what she knows. And I'm like, the past week and a half, she's been bringing math homework home that the concepts of something she covered in 2nd grade that she really didn't get. So, I mean, that she got, but it's gone. For some reason, when I asked her to do it, it's like, she doesn't, she doesn't have a clue. And this is things that she's covered that she already knew. So they were at the time of this meeting, they were in like the 5th week of school. Um, and I'm like, teachers review the first couple of weeks because it's like if she had kind of gotten off course, she should have picked it back up, you know, the first couple of weeks of review because she's very smart and she can read like a whiz. So this is the thing. She really didn't have much work to show me. So I I asked her, I said, okay, they're using like for addition, I think 4 different strategies that you can use. And I'm like, is there any way you can update me as to which strategy you're working on? And she's like, it's up to Victory for her to choose which strategy is best for her. And I'm like, you're avoiding the question. Is there any way you can update me as to which strategy you're working on? Because if you have 4 different strategies that a child can use in your classroom, at some point you have to teach them individually. So she kept saying, well, it's up to Victory which one she wants to use. So, and she said that the only way it's going to be counted against her is if that question specifically on an assessment asks for a particular strategy. But other than that, she can use whichever one she wants. That still didn't answer my question. So anyways, she went and got the paper to show me the different strategies, and I took a picture of it, which that was a plus so that I can work with her at home on the different strategies. And I'm like, okay, so I'm asking the assistant principal, which I really didn't, she had started giving her input, but I only wanted her there really to listen, not really give her input. But and the other teachers, so I'm asking them, do either of you understand where I'm coming from as to her giving me an update as to which strategy she's working on so that I can work with her on that strategy as well. So anyways, the other teacher, okay, this is the thing. That teacher said, okay, they can give her some type of assistance where she's pulled to the side when group teaching is not going on and she can get extra help. So the other teacher comes along and she tells me that her grades have dropped even more since the progress report. They haven't gotten the first report card yet. So I'm like, now, my alert antennas are going up. So this is the thing. I say, okay, now I'm very concerned because previous years, for many years, there was only one teacher per class to teach all subjects. Now there's 2 teachers, and one teacher is teaching language arts, social studies, and the other one is teaching math and science. So I tell them, now I'm concerned because last night I taught her, review with her the old-fashioned strategy that I know to help her do the math. And she had 10 problems. And after the 3rd one, she did the rest on her own and got all of them right. And I told them, if I can accomplish that in one night, and I say she's with you for most of her awake, alert hours, you have more time, and now 2 teachers teaching 2 different subjects. And if you knew she was failing, you could have initiated some type of conference or since called me like her teacher did last year when um, she was getting sick on a regular basis, and the teacher called me, figured she was doing that because she wanted to come home, and she did. She wanted to be with me. But anyways, she didn't initiate anything. And I'm thinking now, you have two teachers. She's here with you for most of her awake, alert hours. And I work with her just for a short amount of time and one night, and she grasps it. That lets me know she does not have a learning disability. I told them, I say, now I'm concerned. I say, you all know better than I do because I do my assessment at home and I don't have a teacher's certification. However, child psychology, working in psychology, period, we know that even though you can have 5 different people teaching the same subject, the same concepts, the same standards, but their deliverance is different. Therefore, a person may be able to receive differently from each one because each person's deliverance is different. So I told them, I said, now I'm thinking she needs to be moved because there are 2 teachers. That's meaning this year your workload is lighter and you could have implemented some type of extra help for her to help bring her grade up. And I know that she doesn't have a learning disability. At that moment, when I said about moving her to another classroom, all 3 of them, the assistant principal and the 2 teachers, said, oh, no, you don't want to do that. All before, when I'm talking about different ways to help her, no one really jumped in with that much enthusiasm and that much willingness to help. They were telling me all of the things that were wrong, where she's failing, but I am a person, I want results. I want to know, okay, we know where she is. What is your solution? What plan, what solution do you have now that we can work together to change this? So no one had that. So I said, okay, it's time for her to be moved because I think with me working with her last night and all of the time that you had, this is my conclusion. So when they came up, said, no, we're going to get someone in to do some type of extra help with her. And I said, okay, I'm not going to move her right away. So this was on a Thursday. So Saturday morning, when I got up to do my prayer and my meditation, Spirit said, move her. Have her moved. I'm going to tell you something, guys. Because I have been intentionally and intently doing inner work never stops. That's why I do prayer and meditation every morning. That's why I get into nature a lot, because of the work that I do and because of the background that I come from. I have to keep myself at a certain vibration and a certain mental state, and that is one of the ways that I do it, and it's one of the ways that you can too. But when you spend a lot of time in nature, you automatically heal. Your issues start to fall off. If you use nature as a type of therapy, if you use nature the right way, that's why some people I see I'm not going to go off target with my subject, but if you use nature the right way, you heal, your vibration shifts. You get a certain love for yourself, more of an awareness of who you are and whose you are, your divine nature. And you start to give off a different energy, and you begin to become more empowered. So I was sitting on the porch doing my prayer and meditation, looking out into nature because I got trees. I love it here, in the front and in the back. The backyard is like my sanctuary because it's full of trees. I love it. The front is also full of trees too, but I like the back because it's more like a sacred place because, you know, I'm close to a highway and traffic passes by. And in my backyard, it's like, it's pretty much sacred ground for me. So anyway, Spirit said, move her. Because of the different energy and the vibration that I have been accustomed to in my past years, you are going to be tested on your progress and your advancement. And see, but once your vibration shifts, once it's like you start to become a new creature from doing the inner work. The things that used to, how should I say, you used to let go by that really wasn't good for you, or it really wasn't in your best interest. You begin to become more aware of that. You become to be more in tune because once you've opened your spirit up and you've opened yourself up to receive from spirit, to receive from God, to receive from the universe, and things just don't go the same anymore. So I'm sitting on the porch, and Spirit says, take your power back. Because at the beginning of that conference, I don't know what happened. It seems like they were telling me everything negative, nothing positive, to where I almost said, well, I guess she's just going to fail this year. All of a sudden, I slipped into a victim mentality, just that quick. And almost at the same quickness, something said, you know what? All of that, what I just told y'all, now that she has 2 teachers this year, she has 2 of you. She's here for more of her awake, alert hours with you. And you have half the responsibility as you did in the past years. 2 teachers, 2 different subjects, when one teacher pulled the whole load. And I know my daughter does not have a learning disability. I said, I think it's best she moved. Or I could have left her and stayed. See, what I agreed to do was to have her progress. And see, you guys, I agreed to give them 6 weeks and us have a review before I actually made a decision to move her. I would give them 6 weeks. So during my prayer and meditation on Saturday morning, Spirit said, take your power back. Move her. Because not so much as to they are against us, but that old vibration and that old frequency was picking up its little ugly head. And I needed to take my power back. So that Monday morning, I called the assistant principal and I let her know that I had had a change of mind and that I wanted my daughter moved immediately because they had 6 weeks to teach her, 2 teachers. And she's my daughter, you guys, and I'm not making this up. She's smart. She is smart as a whip. And I knew something was wrong when I saw that F. You know, when I knew mostly the first couple of weeks of school is basically just reviewing. So I told her, you know, I have a right to change my mind. That's a power, a right that you have. And I have a right to have her move because those teachers have given their all for 5, 6 weeks. And in one teacher's class where she had the A, B, and C, those grades were declining just within 2 weeks. And the other teacher with an F, in our conference, she really wasn't conversing. Her conversation wasn't about helping her improve. She was more on highlighting where she wasn't doing well. Never a solution except for to bring in extra help, which she never brought to the forefront except for a conference. There wasn't a concern within those 6 weeks to contact myself. So to contact me. So therefore, that morning, Spirit said, move her. Take your power back. It's a right that you have. And that is what I did. And now we'll see where things goes from now because I have the website. My daughter's working on the program and she's been reading, and it looks like her excitement for reading has come back just in a couple days. She pulls out her book on her own. It's like, oh, Mom, I like this book. You know, a book we got from Open House. And she's all into it. She loves it. But anyways, you guys, when you are doing your inner work, and even if you aren't doing your inner work, but it's usually when you're doing your inner work that you become aware. You are more aware when things really don't sit well with your spirit and you hear spirit talks because you're taking the time to slow down and listen to what God has to say. And when God speaks, you hear. But when you're so busy and caught up in all of everyday matters, God is always constantly speaking, but you can't hear. So slow down so that you can take your power back. Make time to slow down, do your inner work, and hear what God has to say.